Gamestick. Now, I know these things have been kind of hit or miss. The ones that I've looked at on this channel had a couple clunkers, had a couple decent ones, so I figured, I'll give it another shot. What we'll be looking at today is the X2 Plus Gamestick. Now, the specs on this, it has a CPU that is an Amlogic S905X chip, yet another S905. China doesn't seem to be able to move beyond this S905 chip as far as the budget consoles are concerned, but nevertheless, here's another one. It has a quad-core 64-bit processor. Its RAM is a DDR3 2 GB. It's running a Emulec 4.3. It has an SD card slot which can max out at 256 gigabytes. It says that it's 4K, but when you actually look at it, it's not 4K. It's a 1080p, still usable, but not the 4K like it claims. This one in particular has about 40,000 games on it. Probably is a ROM dump that has a lot of repeats and regional games and whatnot, but we'll see when we take a look at it. The systems that it runs, and there's a lot of them on it, but the ones of note are the PS1, N64, Mega Drive, NES, SNES, Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Wonder Swan Color, CPS 1 through 3, PSP, Game Gear, Neo Geo, MAME, and several others that, again, we'll take a look at it. So this also runs on those typical crappy PS2 knockoff Chinese controllers. So we won't really delve into that too much as far as those controllers are concerned. But without further ado, why don't we do another little unboxing to see what you get with this. Plug it in, play a bunch of games on it, and see if this is something that you would be interested in adding to your Gamestick collection. And here's the box for the X2 Plus Gamestick. It's not a bad box as far as these things go. And on the front, you see the controller. Here it says about the Emulec 4.3, professional game chip, Connect TV, double rocker control, caveat, blah, nothing special. Here's just talks about the stick itself. No big deal. Features, nah, won't delve into that too much. But let's see what we get inside. So here is the Gamestick itself, which we'll look at last. Just a stick. This would be the dongle that you plug into the Gamestick so that you can use the crappy controllers that come with it. One dongle works for both controllers, fortunately. That's one good thing, at least. And inside, we'll get not one, but two of the crappy PlayStation 2 knockoff controllers. So, yep, crappy, typical. Here is the HDMI extension cable. So you plug the Gamestick into the HDMI port on your TV. Some of the Gamesticks are too wide to fit into where your HDMI port would be. So this would help with that situation and allow you to play it. Here's also a micro USB to power the Gamestick. And then lastly, we have the owner's manual, which, okay, they do have English in it, but it's just basically what's in it, what it plays, the emulators it supports. It says here it has Saturn. That'd be interesting if that actually plays, but that's that. And here is the Gamestick itself. If you look around it, here is the SD card slot. This is where you plug in the micro USB to power it. And then you have USB port where you would plug in the dongle to play with the using the controllers. And then over here is the HDMI plug. And that is your look at the Gamestick. So why don't we plug this in and play a few games on it. After plugging it in, this is a look at the main menu. So we'll scroll through it and just look at a couple the systems in here. So here's your section where you can add your favorites. Here's PSP, Naomi, Nintendo DS, interesting. Nintendo 64, which odds are it's going to run a little bit like crap, like most of these S905 chip systems do. PlayStation, Arcade Classics, Super Nintendo, Game Boy Advance, Mega Drive, NES, Game Boy Color, Neo Geo Pocket, Sega Game Gear, Family Computer Disk System, Sega 32X, interesting, Sega Master System, MSX2, Atari Lynx, Atari 7800, Amstrad, Atari 5200, Atari 800, Atari ST, Thomas Wave, Commodore 64, Final Burn Alpha, MSX, Odyssey 2, Vectrex, PC Engine, awesome, Super Graphics, Nintendo Entertainment System Hacks, Game Boy, Game & Watch, Virtual Boy, Pokemon Mini, Open Bore, Neo Geo Pocket, Sega CD, interesting, only has 2 games though, and Sega Genesis, Sega SG-1000, Sinclair, all games, and back to favorites. So we know that the lower end systems for sure are going to work well on it. Obviously your Atari 2600, your 8-bit, 16-bit stuff like the Genesis is going to work just fine. So out of curiosity, I'm just going to look around and play a couple of these games and see if this thing's any good. So when you hit start and select, it will take you to the Emulec menu where you can resume the game, restart the game, save a game, load a game, cheats, disk control, and close content. Now if you hit the So unfortunately, when you hit start and select, you can't go back to the menu. So apparently you have to unplug it and restart the whole thing. That's a bummer. appear to have a little glitch here. That's not good. Well, that N64 game didn't work out too well, and I couldn't go back to the main menu, so I had to unplug it again. So that was a bummer. So apparently there were only 2 PC Engine games, and that is an unbelievable bummer. And so far the Double Dragon game doesn't play. Let's see if Dungeon Explorer plays. So not only does it only have 2 PC Engine games on it, but the 2 that it does have will not boot. Yet another bummer. Buttons aren't exactly mapped right on it. And as you can hear, the audio is just awful on this. It's playing okay, but like I said, the audio is garbage, which is kind of inexcusable because it's not that taxing of a game. But this audio is awful. So let's just finish this up with a system that should play pretty well on it. This is actually Super Mario World 64 for the Game Boy Advance. That's our look at the X2 Plus Gamestick. Do I recommend it? I'm kind of on the fence about it. Where some of the systems played well and others didn't. And it didn't seem to be any rhyme or reason as far as what systems functioned well and which ones didn't. For instance, Sega Dreamcast and the Nintendo DS seemed to play relatively well, whereas the arcade classics, which is a middle of the road kind of system on this, had issues. PC Engine didn't even function at all, so I'm not even sure that if I were to load some other ROMs on it, if it'll even function with that emulator. So I'm not sure if it's the fault of the Gamestick itself or the emulators on it, but it's just weird. It's hit or miss with each system. It's not a total bust, though, because anything from Atari 2600 to PlayStation 1 will actually play rather well. And the thing that surprised me about it is that although some of the systems, the amount of games on them were kind of sparse, others were actually loaded pretty well. I didn't see any repeats of any games on the systems, which is actually a surprise because it's not typical for these systems that you get out of China. So that's definitely positive. So take what you will from this review to see if it's something that you would like. It's kind of up to you. It's not that expensive. I believe this was like $20-some or $30-some. I'm not exactly sure. I'll put it up here to show you what I paid for it. So it's not a total loss. It's certainly not the worst Gamestick I have, but it's not the best one. But that should do it. So please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.